Good morning, algebra students. Today we start our unit on the laws of exponents. So get out your notebook to take a few notes, and here we go. So the laws of exponents, write that down. Number one, we're just going to talk about exponential form. The exponent of a power indicates how many times the base multiplies itself, and you know this already. So here we have x to the nth power, and it would just means that x is being multiplied by itself n times. An example would be 5 to the third is equal to 5 times 5 times 5. Pretty simple stuff. Then just to review some of the words that you need to know, a power is the entire expression, 5 to the third. So the base would be the 5 and the exponent would be the 3. So 5 to the third is the same thing as 125 because it's 5 times 5 times 5, 3 factors of 5. Okay, so when you're multiplying powers, if you are multiplying powers with the same base, you keep the base and you add the exponents. An example would be x to the m times x to the n equals x to the m plus n. So an example would be 2 to the 6 times 2 to the third. All you're going to do is keep the base, and this only works if the bases are the same, so keep the base and add the exponents. And then if you are going to you can leave it as an exponent, or you can actually put it in standard form, which would be 5 to the 12th. And there is a way to do that on your calculator. You want to look for this key. It's called the caret key. And so you'll enter in the number, then the caret key, and then the exponent. So these are 6 problems that we can try. And on the next slide has the answers. So if you want to just try that on your own, you can. But I'm going to walk through them. So all you're going to do is you keep the base. So let me change my tip there. All right, keep the base. So this would be 3. Keep the base, add the exponents. 2 plus 2 is 4. So you get 3 to the 4th power. And that's going to be 81. And remember, if you want to put it in your calculator, you would do 3, then the caret symbol, and then the 4, and then press enter, and that's how you'll get 81. All right, the next one, 5 to the second. So 5 is your base. Add 2 plus 4, you get 5 to the 6th. And I'm just going to leave this one as an exponent. All right, next you have a to the 5th times a to the 2nd, so you get a to the 7th. And then for number 4, you actually have to multiply the coefficients together. The 2 times 4, that makes 8. And then you add the exponents, so you get s to the 9th. On the next one, you're going to keep the base. Remember, you have negative 3. And then you add the exponents together. So 2 plus 3 makes 5. So you have negative 3 to the 5th power. Be careful when you're entering that into the calculator that you use the parentheses. And you will get, let's see, I believe you get negative 243. Now remember, whenever you raise a negative number to an odd power, the answer will be negative. If you raise a negative number to an even power, the answer will be positive. And the last one, you're just going to add the exponents of the s. 2 plus 7 is 9. And for the t, 4 plus 3 makes 7. And you can go to the next and verify the answers. All right, so now we have another rule. It's called power of a power. If you are raising a power to an exponent, you will multiply the exponents. So here's an example, x to the m power. We're raising it to the n power. And what we would do is it would be x to the m times n. An example down here, if you have 5 to the 3rd power and you're raising it to the 2nd power, then you multiply the exponents together. 2 times 3 makes 6. So this is wrong. This should be 5 to the 6th. So let's write that in there. So it should be 5 to the 6th power, not 5 to the 5th power. So when you take a power to a power, you multiply the exponents. So there's one more rule here. All right, another rule is called the product law of exponents. If the product of the bases is powered by the same exponent, then the result is a multiplication of individual factors of the product. So each powered by the given exponent. So let's see what this looks like. If you have xy and you're raising x times y to the nth power, then that means you have to apply this power to each individual factor inside of the parentheses. So you get x to the nth times y to the nth. So, and this kind of summarizes it. So when you take a power of a product, you apply the exponent to all the factors of the product. An example again that you can write down is a times b squared. That means that's going to be a squared times b squared. Okay, let's look at some example problems now. Alright, so here are 6 example problems that we will do. So, and again, our answers are on the next page. So you can pause and do it, or you can do it with me. So you're going to multiply the exponents together. So 2 times 5 is 10. So this is 3 to the 10th. This would be a, and then you multiply 3 times 4, so you'd get 12. And then for number 3, you have to do 2 to the 3rd power. So each factor has to be raised to this power of 3. So you do 2 to the 3rd power, and then for the a, you're going to multiply those exponents, so it'd be a to the 6th power. Then you want to work out the coefficient of 2. 2 to the 3rd power is really 8, and then you can leave your variable in the answer. Alright, so let's look at number 4. It has a little more going on. So let's take each individual factor. So first I take the 2, and I'm going to multiply this 2 times that 2. So it'll be 2 to the 4th power. And then for a, I'm going to multiply the 2 times the 5, so I get a to the 10th. And for b, I'm going to multiply the 2 times 3 and get 6. And then I need to simplify 2 to the 4th power. So 2 to the 4th power is 16. So I get 16, a 10, and b 6. And that would be my final answer. Look at number 5. You need to write that down. So you'd get negative 3 squared. So I'm going to apply that exponent to the negative 3. And then I have a, I multiply the 2 times 2, and I get a to the 4th. So I simplify the coefficient. Negative 3 squared is 9, a to the 4th. And the last one, you're just going to multiply. So you'd get s to the 6th and t to the 12th. And those are your answers. So you just have to remember that you're multiplying whenever you raise a power to a power, but you're adding whenever you are just multiplying 2 exponents together. And these are the solutions. And then this is the summary. So the summary, these are the 3 rules that we kind of went over. The product of powers means that you're going to add the exponents together. The power of a product, so you're taking these products and raising them to a power. You have to apply the individual power to each of the factors. And then if you take a power of a power, that's when you multiply them together. All right, so now you have an assignment, and enjoy.